We humans are social creatures. We crave connection and belonging. It's in our nature to seek out relationships and form bonds with others. Yet we often find ourselves trapped in our own minds, isolated by our thoughts and fears. We worry about what others think of us, constantly second-guessing our actions and words. Our thoughts can spiral into anxieties, holding us back from truly experiencing life and connecting with others. Have you ever felt this way? Like you're on the outside looking in, unable to break free from your own mind? Like you're being watched, judged, and evaluated by everyone around you? This is the spotlight effect in action, a powerful cognitive bias that distorts our perception. The spotlight effect is a cognitive bias that makes us believe we are the center of everyone's attention. It convinces us that others are constantly scrutinizing our every move, every mistake. It's that feeling of being under a giant spotlight, with everyone scrutinizing our every move, every flaw. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. It can help us be more mindful of our actions and considerate of others. It helps us navigate social situations and maintain social harmony, ensuring we act in ways that are socially acceptable. However, when left unchecked, the spotlight effect can fuel our social anxiety, leading to self-doubt and fear of judgment. Imagine this. You walk into a room full of people. You trip and stumble. You're mortified, convinced everyone saw your clumsy misstep. You think everyone saw your clumsy misstep and is now judging you harshly. You feel their eyes on you, judging your every move, every flaw. The spotlight effect tells us this is a common experience, making us feel overly self-conscious. The reality is most people are too busy worrying about their own lives to even notice our stumbles. They are preoccupied with their own concerns. Understanding this can be incredibly freeing. It allows us to let go of unnecessary anxieties and live more authentically. Let's explore a fascinating experiment that sheds light on this phenomenon, revealing just how much we overestimate others' attention on us. In the year 2000, Professor Thomas Gilovich at Cornell University conducted a groundbreaking experiment. This experiment, while seemingly simple, revealed profound truths about human perception and self-awareness. The experiment involved college students and a rather interesting fashion choice, a Barry Manilow t-shirt. Now, Barry Manilow might have been a music legend, but his face on a t-shirt wasn't exactly considered cool or trendy among the younger generation. Gilovich's team asked students to wear this t-shirt, adorned with Manilow's smiling face, into a room full of their peers. The students wearing the t-shirt were then asked to estimate how many of their peers noticed what they were wearing. The results were astounding and quite revealing. The students predicted that about half of the people in the room would have noticed their fashion faux pas, feeling quite self-conscious. However, the actual number of people who noticed the t-shirt was significantly lower than expected. Only around 25% of the observers actually remembered what the student was wearing, highlighting a fascinating aspect of human psychology known as the spotlight effect. This effect shows how people tend to overestimate the extent to which their actions and appearance are noticed by others, a humbling reminder of our own self-centered biases. The Cornell experiment vividly illustrates the spotlight effect in action. We tend to overestimate the amount of attention others pay to us. The reality is that people are far less focused on us than we think. They are preoccupied with their own thoughts, feelings, and insecurities. This isn't to say that people don't notice us at all. They do. However, the level of attention we perceive is greatly exaggerated in our minds. We shine a spotlight on ourselves, imagining all eyes are on us, when in reality, most people are barely paying attention. Think about your own life. Do you remember what your coworker wore last Tuesday? What your neighbor had for dinner last night? Probably not. We are all stars of our own show, but extras in everyone else's. The spotlight effect plays a significant role in fueling social anxiety. When we believe that everyone is constantly watching and judging us, it's no wonder we feel anxious in social situations. This anxiety can manifest itself in various ways: fear of public speaking, reluctance to meet new people, or even difficulty maintaining eye contact. Understanding the spotlight effect can help us break free from this cycle of anxiety. When we realize that our perceived spotlight is largely an illusion, we can start to challenge those negative thoughts and feelings. We can begin to see social situations as less threatening, less like a performance, and more like an opportunity for connection. Section 5. Mindfulness, escaping the clutches of self-consciousness. So how do we escape this self-created spotlight? One powerful tool is mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of paying attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about observing our thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. When we are mindful, we are less likely to get caught up in our own heads. We become more aware of our surroundings and less focused on our perceived flaws. Mindfulness allows us to step back from the spotlight and observe ourselves and our experiences with greater objectivity. Think of mindfulness as a mental muscle that needs regular exercise. The more we practice mindfulness, the better we become at observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. This can be particularly helpful in social situations where our anxiety tends to spike. Section 6. Mindfulness in Action, a deep dive. Practicing mindfulness doesn't require hours of meditation or a complete lifestyle overhaul. It can be seamlessly integrated into our daily routines, no matter how busy we are. It can be as simple as taking a few moments each day to focus on our breath. These small moments can make a significant difference in our overall well-being. Notice the rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. Feel the air entering your nostrils and filling your lungs. Pay attention to the sensations of each breath, the coolness of the air as it enters, and the warmth as it leaves. As you focus on your breath, thoughts will inevitably arise. This is a natural part of the process. Don't judge yourself or try to push them away. Instead, observe them without attachment. Simply acknowledge them and gently redirect your attention back to your breath. This gentle redirection is a key aspect of mindfulness practice. This practice of returning to the present moment is the essence of mindfulness. It helps us cultivate a sense of peace and presence. Mindfulness can also involve paying attention to our senses. Engaging fully with our sensory experiences can anchor us in the now. What do we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch in this moment? Each sense offers a pathway to mindfulness. By focusing on our senses, we ground ourselves in the present and shift our attention away from our anxieties. This simple practice can transform our daily experiences. Section 7. Stepping into someone else's shoes. Another powerful technique for combating the spotlight effect is the swapping shoes exercise. This exercise encourages us to step outside of our own perspective and consider the situation from someone else's point of view. Imagine you're at a party and you spill a drink on yourself. You're mortified, convinced that everyone saw your clumsy mistake. Now choose someone at the party and imagine the situation from their perspective. Perhaps they were engrossed in a conversation and didn't even notice your mishap. Or maybe they saw it but thought nothing of it, as they've likely been in similar situations themselves. Section 8. The Power of Perspective, a practical exercise. This exercise helps us challenge our assumptions about how much attention others are paying to us. It allows us to see the situation from a more objective standpoint, rather than through the distorted lens of our own anxiety. The next time you find yourself feeling self-conscious, take a moment to swap shoes with someone else. Imagine their thoughts, feelings, and distractions. This simple shift in perspective can help you realize that the spotlight isn't as bright as you think it is. Remember, everyone is the star of their own show. We are all preoccupied with our own thoughts, feelings, and insecurities. By practicing empathy and considering other perspectives, we can begin to dismantle the illusion of the spotlight effect. Section 9. Internalizing the spotlight effect, a journey, not a destination. Internalizing the spotlight effect is not a one-time fix but an ongoing process. It requires consistent effort and a willingness to challenge our own perceptions. There will be times when we fall back into old patterns of thinking, believing that the spotlight is firmly fixed upon us. The key is to be kind to ourselves during these moments. We are all works in progress, and learning to manage our social anxiety takes time and practice. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Each step you take towards internalizing the spotlight effect is a step towards greater freedom and authenticity. Section 10. Freeing yourself from imaginary audiences. Imagine a life where you feel less self-conscious, less afraid of judgment. Imagine pursuing your passions without the fear of what others might think. This is the power of internalizing the spotlight effect. When we free ourselves from the imaginary audiences in our minds, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We can take risks, be ourselves, and connect with others on a deeper level. Section 11. Embrace the liberation. The The spotlight effect is a natural part of the human experience. However, by understanding its influence on our thoughts and behaviors, we can learn to manage its impact on our lives. Through mindfulness, perspective-taking, and self-compassion, we can dim the spotlight and step into the fullness of our lives. Embrace the liberation that comes with knowing that you are not the center of everyone's universe. The world is waiting for you to show up authentically, free from the constraints of self-doubt and fear of judgment.